Nabil Maghnie was a name whispered in the shadows. Known as Madleb, he cast a long shadow in Melbourne's underworld. Born in Australia, his Lebanese heritage ran deep. He carried himself with an air of danger, a reputation forged in violence. Maghnie was a man of contradictions. He could be charming one moment, explosive the next. His volatile nature was part of his mystique, adding to the fear he instilled. Those who crossed him rarely lived to tell the tale. His nickname, Mad Leb, spoke volumes. It hinted at his unpredictable nature, his hair-trigger temper. It was a badge of honor in the criminal underworld, a symbol of his ruthlessness. Maghnie was a ghost, a phantom moving through Melbourne's underbelly. He left a trail of chaos and fear in his wake, his legend growing with each whispered word. Melbourne, with its hidden laneways and labyrinthine alleyways, is a city that never truly sleeps. Its bustling nightlife, filled with the hum of activity and the glow of neon lights, held a dark secret. Beneath its glittering facade thrived a sprawling underworld, a breeding ground for violence and corruption. In these shadowy corners, the city's true nature was revealed. It was a world where loyalty was tested and betrayal was met with swift and brutal retribution. Trust was a rare commodity, and alliances were fragile. Turf wars, drug deals gone wrong, and vendettas fueled the cycle of violence. Each night brought new conflicts, as rival factions vied for dominance. Gangs fought for control of the city, their rivalries spilling onto the streets. The battles were fierce and the stakes were high. The lines between right and wrong blurred, lost in the pursuit of power and profit. Morality was a luxury few could afford. The police struggled to maintain control, their efforts often hampered by a code of silence. The thin blue line was stretched to its limits. Witnesses were too afraid to talk, intimidated by the reach of the criminal underworld. Fear silenced many, leaving crimes unsolved. Fear was a powerful weapon, and it kept the city in its grip. The atmosphere was thick with tension, and trust was scarce. In this world of shadows and secrets, Nabil Maghnie thrived. He navigated the darkness with ease, understanding its unspoken rules. He understood the rules of the game, the price of survival. Every move was calculated, every decision weighed. He was a product of his environment, a predator in a concrete jungle. In the end, it was survival of the fittest, and Nabil was always one step ahead. The roar of engines, the glint of chrome, and the smell of leather were the calling cards of the Comancheros, one of Australia's most notorious bikie gangs. They cultivated an image of rebellion and outlaw brotherhood. Behind the facade of camaraderie, however, lay a darker truth. The Comancheros were deeply involved in organized crime. Drug trafficking, extortion, and money laundering were their stock in trade. They operated with ruthless efficiency, their loyalty to the club above all else. Nabil Maghnie was drawn to the allure of the bikie lifestyle. He found kinship with the Comancheros, their shared disregard for the law a powerful bond. He rose through the ranks, earning a reputation as a fearsome enforcer. His loyalty to the club was unquestioned, his willingness to use violence legendary. He became a trusted lieutenant, his name whispered with a mix of respect and fear. The air crackled with tension. The whine of bullets shattered the night. Nabil Maghnie, caught in a hail of gunfire, fought for his life. It was 2016, and he was a marked man. Bullets ripped through his body, leaving a trail of blood and chaos. He collapsed to the ground, his life ebbing away. But fate had other plans. Miraculously, Maghnie survived the attack. He had stared death in the face and emerged victorious, albeit scarred and forever changed. The shooting was a turning point, a stark reminder of the dangers of his world. He knew his enemies were closing in, their thirst for revenge insatiable. The shooting had made him a target, his every move scrutinized. But Maghnie refused to back down. He would not live in fear. Section 5, A Night in Epping. The Assassination of Madleb. The night of January 9, 2020, dawned cold and clear in Epping. The air was crisp, and the stars shone brightly in the sky, casting an eerie glow over the quiet suburban streets. The silence was shattered by the roar of an engine, followed by a deafening volley of gunshots. The tranquility of the night was abruptly replaced by chaos and violence. Nabil Maghnie's time had run out. The clock struck midnight, marking the end of an era for the notorious figure known as Madleb. Gunned down in a quiet suburban street, his lifeless body lay sprawled next to a late-model Mercedes-Benz. The scene was a grim testament to the violent world he inhabited. The luxury vehicle, a symbol of his success, was now a grim reminder of his violent end. Bullet holes riddled the once pristine exterior, telling a story of a life cut short. Witnesses described a scene of chaos and terror. The sudden eruption of violence left them in shock. Their peaceful night turned into a nightmare. The rapid fire of a semi-automatic weapon echoed through the night. Each shot reverberated through the neighborhood, a stark reminder of the brutality that had just occurred. Panic gripped the neighborhood as residents, startled by the gunfire, peered out their windows. Fear and confusion spread quickly, leaving everyone on edge. The killers vanished into the night, leaving behind a trail of shell casings and unanswered questions. The dark alleyways and empty streets provided the perfect cover for their escape. The news of Maghnie's death spread like wildfire, sending shockwaves through Melbourne's underworld. The assassination of Mad Leb marked a significant turning point, leaving a void in the criminal landscape. Section 6. Whispers in the Shadows. Motives and Suspicions. In the wake of Nabil Maghnie's murder, speculation ran rampant. Who had the motive? Who had the means? The list of his enemies was long, a testament to his violent life. Rival gangs, seeking to eliminate a powerful adversary, were immediately suspected. Had the Comancheros made an enemy powerful enough to orchestrate such a brazen hit? Police also investigated potential links to Maghnie's past dealings. Had a drug deal gone wrong? Was this retribution for a past transgression? The truth remained elusive, hidden in a web of whispers and half-truths. Some whispered of an inside job, a power struggle within the Comancheros themselves. Had Maghnie's ambition outgrown his station? Had he become too powerful, a threat to those he once called brothers? Section 7. The Blue Wall of Silence. Obstacles in the investigation. The investigation into Nabil Maghnie's murder was met with a wall of silence. Witnesses, fearing for their safety, refused to cooperate with the police. The code of the streets, unwritten but absolute, prevailed. Detectives faced an uphill battle, their efforts hampered by the fear that permeated the underworld. The threat of retaliation was real, the consequences of speaking out potentially deadly. The investigation was further complicated by the tangled web of allegiances and rivalries that defined Melbourne's criminal underworld. Loyalties shifted constantly, making it difficult to separate truth from fiction. Despite the challenges, detectives pressed on, determined to bring Maghnie's killers to justice. They knew that somewhere, hidden among the shadows, were people who knew the truth. The question was, would they ever break their silence? Section 8. The Unanswered Questions. A City Holds Its Breath. Years have passed since the murder of Nabil Maghnie, but the case remains unsolved. The city of Melbourne has not forgotten, and the memory of that night lingers in the air, like a ghost that refuses to be laid to rest. The unanswered questions continue to haunt the city of Melbourne, a chilling reminder of the reach of organized crime. Each corner turned, each shadow cast, brings back the eerie feeling of uncertainty and fear. Who pulled the trigger that fateful night in Epping? Was it a calculated move, or a spur-of-the-moment decision? The mystery deepens with every passing day. Was it a rival gang seeking revenge, or someone closer to home? The possibilities are endless, each more chilling than the last. Did Maghnie's past finally catch up with him? Or was his death a result of internal power struggles within the Comancheros? His life was a complex web of alliances and enmities, making the truth even harder to unravel. The lack of closure has fueled speculation and fear. Rumors swirl and theories abound, but none bring the peace that the community so desperately seeks. The case serves as a stark reminder of the violence that lurks beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary life. It is a dark undercurrent that can pull anyone under without warning. It is a testament to the power of silence, the grip of fear that can paralyze a community. The whispers in the dark, the glances over shoulders, all speak to a city on edge. Melbourne, once a city known for its vibrancy and charm, now grapples with the shadow of unsolved crime. The streets that once bustled with life now carry an air of caution and unease. The murder of Nabil Maghnie is a chilling reminder that even in a modern metropolis, some secrets remain buried deep. The city holds its breath, waiting for answers that may never come. Section 9. Conclusion: The Legacy of Violence. Nabil Maghnie's story is a tragedy, a cautionary tale of a life consumed by violence. He was both a product and a perpetrator of a brutal underworld, his life and death inextricably linked to the world he inhabited. His murder, while shocking, was not entirely unexpected. Violence was the currency of his world, the inevitable outcome of a life lived on the edge. He was both feared and respected, a testament to the allure and danger of organized crime. The legacy of Mad Leb is a stain on the city of Melbourne, a reminder of the darkness that can flourish in the shadows. His story serves as a warning, a cautionary tale about the seductive power of crime and the devastating consequences of a life lived outside the law.